Oh, man. Odie, I was up at 6 a.m., cracking eggs, working out hard, pushing it to the limit, and then past the limit. Man.
You sound like a fitness bro. All the fitness bros that I hate to see on Instagram is what you sound like right now.
I'm triple the man that you've ever manned.
If you're not getting up at 4:30 and working out 18 times before 10 a.m. and having 16 breakfasts and journaling in your bedroom and going and doing ice cold plunges and going to work for 27 hours and then sleeping at 5 p.m. and waking up again at 9 p.m. to go to the gym again.
First I wake up, then I meditate. So fucking hard.
I hate those videos. It's the Mark Wahlberg routine.
15 quotes from Mark.
Have you heard about his routine where he's like, I'm up at 4 a.m., I work out twice, I go to bed at 6 p.m.
Wait, who does this? Who is this?
Mark Wahlberg.
That's great. I love that for him.
He's like, I go to bed at 6 p.m. And I'm like, cool, dude, that sucks for you. That's when normal people get off work.
This is 20 years before like the tell-all comes out from one of his kids that was like, yeah, it was fucking horrible. I was a psychopath.
Yeah. Dude's up at like 4 in the morning working out in their home gym.
He was an unrelenting, unmalleable psychopath
who also beat up minorities because he's a piece of shit.
He made me work out at 4 a.m.
Dude, if I had a parent that made me work out at 4 a.m. before like school and shit, I think I would lose my mind.
You'd hate them.
I
feel like there's two options there. You hate them and like you're the kid who like grows up and is like, yeah, don't be kinder to yourself, or you fall into the line and like then you reap the benefits and then you become, the successor to the throne of waking up at 4 a.m. and working out 5 times and.
Waking up, there's nothing wrong with waking up at 4 a.m. I wake up around 4:45 now for my job.
Yeah.
But that's for my job.
Yeah.
Like I'm waking up to go get paid.
Yeah.
I'm not waking up at 4:45 to. I'm an evening gym person. I don't know.
What's your optimal wake up time? Go ahead, hit me with your optimal wake up time. What hour would you love to wake up every day? Almost every day.
I wish it was 5:30.
Okay, that's fine.
5:30 is great.
Yeah.
For Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 6:30. Give me a little extra sleep.
I'm 5 almost every day, right? 5 a.m. I'm up. I'm ready. Like, and that's not like a hard driven workout thing. That's just me getting up at 5. Like that's what I've decided for me. And what's funny is I tell most people like, oh, I get up at 5, and they're like, you're crazy. They're like, every day?
Not really?
They're like blown away. They're like, every day? Really? And I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah, like not in any sort of.
Yeah.
It's not a flex, guys.
I got to be at my first location Monday through Friday. I try to get there between 6 and 6:30.
Yeah.
So I have to pick up my truck by like 5:15, do my pre-check, leave by like 5:45, so I beat traffic. They're about a 30-minute drive. So yeah, like I gotta get up at like 4:30 Monday through Friday.
This sounds pretty manly. I want you to say it like Mark Wahlberg would say it.
Okay, guys, I gotta get up. I can't do a Mark Wahlberg impression.
Do
He's
it
always
now.
out of breath. He's always out of breath. Okay, guys, you gotta get up at 4:30, and you gotta beat people up, and then you gotta go fight with Optimus Prime, and then you gotta get in your truck. And come on, guys. That's all I got. I don't watch enough Mark Wahlberg.
You did it. You did it. Good job.
But yeah,
that's the beginning of the podcast. That's it. That's all I need. I just wanted Mark Wahlberg. That's it, baby.
Mark Wahlberg. This podcast is sponsored by hating on Mark Wahlberg.
We're gonna go around. I don't even know what's going on. All right. Are you ready to clap?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode.
No, Kevin, do that again. You're not get away with it for not no. For so long, you used to get on me for clapping with my actual hands, not smacking my face. You think you can get by? You think you can get one by? It might be early, Kevin, but you're not gonna get one by me. You're not gonna get one by me.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the UnPop Podcast. I'm your Capitan Papi Toro Siempre, Kevin Miner. Him with me as always is
Oh, hey, Matthew is the person who has the best audio for once on this podcast because I don't have an echo. Cooking up delicious content that he.
Coming to you live from Tampa. It's Kevin Miner. No, it's great. I don't know what you have against it. I've not had a single experience in this city yet that's made me think
You've been there for like 2 days.
I've been here 3 times in the past 3 years for more than 2 days.
Live in Florida for longer than 5 years, then talk to me.
I've had a great time every time I'm in the city. And I went to Run Club yesterday. I went to like an expo. I went to a car show. It's phenomenal. I went to
Florida,
a really nice all-you-can-eat sushi place. Here's the thing, Odie. There's
it's like finding corn in your poop, you know?
Odie, there's some real rural, backward places in Colorado, but I don't look at them and go, oh, it's Colorado, you know?
Like, it's just Colorado on the whole isn't known
Colorado's
for being a crazy lunatic state.
Yeah.
People in Colorado don't take bath salts and then eat people's faces down in Miami. That's a real thing.
That you know of.
Look, you
I'm
can
not
say
in
what
Miami.
you want. But Florida has a reputation, is my point. Colorado,
you're not
Colorado
allowed
has a
in
reputation
Florida
for stoners. I'm not in Florida anymore, but I'll be in Florida in less than 2 months. I'll be in Tampa in less than 2 months.
Oh, yeah? Well, it's not
for a
that
wedding.
bad. I think you'll enjoy it. Tampa's a good
I lived
time.
in Tampa for a year.
Tampa's great.
No, it's not.
I'm having a great time.
Nothing in Florida is great.
I've met lovely people. They're all phenomenal. I don't know what you're talking about. It's been great.
I didn't say the people were bad. I said the state was bad.
I could live here.
You're going to.
I could, yeah.
Make Florida great for the first
Again.
time is what I said. No, for the first time. Nope.
I'm surprised nobody's come along with like a slogan like make Florida Spanish again, because the name literally is Spanish. And every other street name is like Tampania and stuff.
Are you saying that we whitewashed Florida, Kevin?
100%. 100%. Yeah, that's what happens with all vacation spots.
St. Augustine is really nice. I joke. There's nice spots in Florida. I like Sarasota.
Yeah.
That's a nice spot. St. Augustine's nice.
Here's the one thing I've noticed about Tampa. So my friend Ariella has put me up in her place. It's in a really nice part of Tampa. And the funny thing that I've noticed is like we were at Run Club and I'm like, oh, there's not as many like alternative people with a ton of tattoos like what I'm used to in my like metal loving emo core neck of the woods of New York. I'm like I'm around, I'm like, oh, I'm getting some looks. I got a lot more tattoos than you folks. I represent a different lifestyle. But like at the same time, I'm hitting all the same spots that they're hitting just because of like my general interests, right? And I was like, somebody the other day, I feel like this happens when you travel. Like people like they see you, and if you don't necessarily fit the mold of the place that you're in, they tell you like where you would fit in. And like multiple people are like, you would do really well in St. Pete. Honestly,
they're
like, welcome to Tampa. You got a St. Pete vibe though, man.
St. Pete's not bad. If you were talking about St. Pete, I'd be on board. Look, last time I was in Florida,
I'm 15 minutes from St. Pete.
Yeah, well, there's a difference. Trust me, there's a 15 minutes makes all the difference, Kevin.
Oh, that it does, baby.
Last time I was in Florida for a wedding. We went to the beach, and I have a lot of tattoos. I have neck tattoos, hand tattoos, my whole like upper torso, and I always get a lot of interesting looks when I go to the beach and take my shirt off because I have a lot of tattoos and I have a lot of nerd tattoos.
Yeah, I mean that happens, man. It's cool.
I
it's
like
cool to
it.
stick out. It's cool to be original.
You can stare.
Yeah, it's all good.
You can stare at me if you want.
Odie,
I don't care.
Listen, I got stuff to do in Tampa today. Let's run through this news.
Trying to rush me?
I'm not rushing you. But I do have a yoga class at noon.
Well, you got time.
I have plenty of time. Let's hit the news, baby.
Yeah, baby. It's the UnPop news coming at you fresh and hot from the command deck of the SS Marlon Brando. Let's see what this week had in store.
God of War is coming to... I was just waiting for my cue. Patiently. God of War is coming to Prime. Prime is kind of crushing it with TV shows based on video games. You got, Fallout. We're going to have God of War. I know Warhammer technically isn't a video game. It is, but it started off as a tabletop RPG.
There are so many Warhammer video games. It's not even funny. Don't even get into it. Keep going.
Yeah. But we got our casting for Kratos. God of War. It's going to be Ryan Hurst, who played the voice of Thor in one of the more recent God of War games, but he's going to be live action Kratos.
Dude did so good in the God of War game that they're like, you're the new God of War now, which is how the game goes. Like, you do so good, you become the new God of War. He has actually followed the Kratos storyline. So yes, apart from like, you know, his family being murdered and stuff, I don't think that's happened. But like, apart from his family being murdered and him going on a giant vengeance plot to kill Zeus, which is not what this show is going to be about, I don't think, because it looks
I don't
like
think they're
going
to do
Norse.
Ragnarok. That's the one that he was Thor in, but he is in the Odyssey as well. So
nice.
I'm very curious. I don't recognize him from anything. He has been in like TV shows here and there. Like he was in some Walking Dead episodes.
Yep.
He was in what's that show called? He was in SWAT for a few episodes. He's from Remember the Titans, which I think
feel
is
like
interesting.
everybody's been in SWAT for a few
But
episodes.
I think he's most famous for Opie in Sons of Anarchy.
Yes. Which was like the only character I actually liked on that show anyway. So great.
I never watched that show. It didn't really.
I got through 2 seasons of that show, but like, it was more that it like entertained than like actually was like fulfilling to watch. Like I was, and it was very formulaic. Like every episode was the same thing. Every episode was like. It wasn't really even like Sons of Anarchy, because like everything on that show actually very much like real motorcycle gangs that I've met and have grown accustomed with. Like they're like, it's all about freedom and just being on the road and feeling the wind in your hair, and that's what we do. But we got a bunch of fucking rules for you to follow, so it's not really about freedom, is it? And then like every week was like. It was kind of like a G.I. Joe biker gang. It was like, what are Jax and the boys going to get into this week, and how are they going to get out of this mess of trouble? Actually, it was like, you know what it was like? It was like Dukes of Hazzard, but all of the solutions were in the notebook of the guy's dad who was murdered, supposedly, by the biker gang, you know? So, like, and then he's like, looking for all of his solutions, like, oh, this wisdom from my dad's really helping me out. And then people at the end of it were like, I can't believe he died. I'm like, I can. He like that's what happened to look what happened to his dad. Where did he find all his solutions? Couldn't read the writing on the literal walls of the notebook. Like,
I was gonna say the only thing I know about that show is how it ends.
Yeah,
but it's in that era of TV where I feel like kind of what you're saying is very formulaic.
Yeah.
Like it was 45-minute episodes of like a gritty, trying to be more realistic and grounded in the drama and what's going to happen next. It never really, I don't care about biker gangs.
The only way that show would get grittier is if Zack Snyder rebooted it. You know what I'm saying?
Hashtag reboot the Anarchy verse.
Yeah, the Snyderverse is just biker gangs now.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. I've never played a God of War game.
Yeah.
They've always looked interesting to me, but I'm not a big enough gamer. My jam is the game that I played. I'm not joking, for 7 hours yesterday because I didn't have anything to do.
Wow.
We canceled D&D today, and I was like, I don't have to prep a session. I don't have to clean the loft. I don't have to clean the house. I'm playing this game for 7 hours because it was on sale for $5.
I love that.
Yeah, it was honestly. I'm still riding that high, baby. Still riding that high.
That's good.
You know what I'm going to do today when we get off this?
Play video games?
I'm going to play the video games.
Oh, good. Good for
I'm going to
you.
talk about more in Jam. Yeah, I'm excited for God of War. I think this is going to be great. I think this is good casting. I looked up some stuff, like interviews of him and stuff, and I think this is going to be sick.
I'm interested to see who gets cast as his son, because we're going into the Viking mythos. We're not doing the classic Greek mythos. Yeah.
I know a lot of people wanted like Jason Momoa and stuff to be in this as Kratos, but I think
we're getting enough Jason Momoa in the next couple years.
That's my thing. I'm excited to see who plays all the villains and all the gods that he goes up against, because I think that's going to be what makes it interesting.
I feel like a lot of times when it comes to, like, not that Jason Momoa would do bad, but I feel like the people who are the loudest about requesting, like fan casting, right? Yeah. They're picking actors that are already in a million properties, right? Yep. So it's like someone just standing at a Coke machine holding the Coke button. You're like, your cup's overflowing, and they're like, I love Coke. And you're like,
I want more.
You're not actually getting more now. It's actually you're ruining the quality of the outside of the cup, and they're like, I love Coke.
I don't care. Speaking of ruining the quality of something, I want your opinion on this.
I would love to give you my opinion on this.
Okay, here's a rhetorical question. That is a trick question.
If it's a statement, I'll kill you. If it's a statement,
There's a callback for you. All right, Lord of the Rings
Yes.
is getting the Andy Serkis directed movie Hunt for Gollum.
That's not
Now-
a rhetorical question.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. It's called the build-up, Kevin.
Okay.
We heard that Ian McKellen is going to be back as Gandalf.
Okay.
How do you feel about Elijah Wood coming back as Frodo? It's a real question.
Here, my real thoughts on this just immediately are, oh no, this is going to be some horrible AI de-aging BS that's going to happen all over it. And it's just going to make it look weird. It looks weird every time. It's going to look, I accept that at some point in the future, like people will be like, it actually looks pretty good now. And I'll agree, but like, for now, come on, guys. I guess here's the thing. You get Ian McKellen, right? And then you're like, yeah, let's get Elijah Wood back. And both of them love those roles. So, of course, both of them would say yes, right? It's a great time. People love those roles. They love them in them. They obviously had a great time playing them because they keep talking about it in interviews years and years and years later, just talking about what a great experience it was. And, you can tell, it's an overall net positive. However, it's okay to cast new people is my final thought on that. You could have cast other people. It would have been fine. And especially when Ian McKellen played Gandalf, that was for him, not a breakout role, but it was a big role that it was really
that
stretched
Magneto.
who knew him. Yeah. And then for Elijah Wood, that's a role that people remember him specifically for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So here's my thing. This is supposed to be set between Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers, which, by the way, unrelated, but all 3 Lord of the Rings extended movies are in my AMC theater, and they're all 3.5 hours.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They all are sold out, which I think is awesome.
Of course
I love that people will go out and see those.
It's probably all the same people that bought out all 3 theaters.
Absolutely.
They're like, we're doing it.
That was my thought, honestly. But this is set between Fellowship and Two Towers.
Yeah.
And it's called The Hunt for Gollum. And I think my biggest thing about this, I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan. I like Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong. But
how dare
why do we need this? Why do we need to know what Gollum was up to between 1 and 2?
We don't, and if the Rings of Power has shown anything, this will be of lesser quality and ultimately And then remember War of the Rohirrim. Yeah, that was not good either.
I was so excited for that.
There have been so many swings and misses in the Game of Thrones world,
and in Lord of the Rings too.
Or not Game. Jesus Christ!
I got you. Don't worry, I saved it. It's both. It's okay.
I'm thinking of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which comes out tonight.
Oh,
anyway,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Here's a little bit of good news.
Hit me.
Netflix CEO said that with the acquisition of Warner Brothers, it looks like it's still technically back and forth between Paramount trying to buy it and Netflix's bid and the president getting involved. But I think I'm gonna say it looks like Netflix is most likely going to get it. But the good news is they said that they want all Warner Brothers movies to stay in theaters for 45 days, which doesn't sound like a long time, but it actually is a pretty decent stretch. That's a month and a half.
It's a month and a half.
Yeah, that's a good stretch. 45 days is what movies kind of used to be in the theater, and that's why for those that don't know, movies will get pulled after 2 or 3 weeks if they're not quote unquote doing well. Yeah. And then people will be like, oh, movies aren't profitable anymore. But back in the day, even I guess more pre-COVID, movies would stay in theaters for a month and a half to 2 months, and that's how they would make money.
Yeah.
So the fact that Netflix wants to do this while also keeping their Netflix releases straight to streaming, because we just got the Matt Damon, Ben Affleck movie, The Pit, which I'm going to watch this weekend probably.
Yes.
I'm curious about that. So, I think it's okay to still have your Netflix straight-to-streaming movies, but the fact that they're going to keep Warner Brother properties, so that means the DC movies and stuff in theaters for 45 days, that's actually some good news with this acquisition.
That also gives you time to see them. And I know that, here we are. We're on a podcast that emphasizes us seeing things the week it comes out. But, you don't have to. And there are plenty of movies that I don't get to till a month later, and I would love to still see them in theaters,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go see the animated All You Need Is Kill tomorrow after I get off work. I didn't get to it over the weekend.
Ooh, I forgot that's coming out. Oh, man. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that came out this week when I was traveling, and I was like, oh, man. But I've had such a great time in Tampa. Anyway.
Yeah, I've had a good time not leaving my house.
Well, there you go.
Let's talk about a trailer real quick. It's only a teaser trailer. But we literally, when we talked about the movies coming out this year, I said I need a trailer for Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Yes, and we got one.
It's also being kind of called What Happened to Katie, because we kind of talked about it, that the test audiences didn't like it, so they're thinking about renaming it, but it looks like it's The Mummy, What Happened to Katie, so it's kind of like a tagline or a subtitle.
From the glimpses we've seen, it looks good. It looks... You know what it makes me think of? And this is what I was kind of hoping. Like, I made a joke about it, but, like, it looks like a lot of the eeriness from a Courage the Cowardly Dog episode. Like, just happening to real people and much darker and much more scary.
So here's the official synopsis, and then we can talk about the trailer briefly, because it's only like a minute teaser. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
The synopsis is, the young daughter of a journalist disappears into the desert without a trace.
Yep.
8 years later, the broken family is shocked when she is returned to them, as what should be a joyful reunion turns into a living nightmare.
Yeah. I think she is a mummy when she comes back.
Same.
You know?
I love the imagery. I love the quick glimpses we get. I love the creepy bugs coming out of somebody's mouth.
Yep.
I love the like decrepit hand with long fingernails in the coffin. I like that this isn't the mummy. It's just a mummy.
Yeah. This is the real horror of a mummy, because the horror of a mummy is not the mummy itself. The mummy is a slow, bandaged, wrapped thing that moves. You know, like insofar as like the popularization of the horror archetype, a mummy is a slow, bandage wrapped corpse that has been reanimated. I mean, in all effects, it's kind of just a zombie.
Honestly.
But the real horror is the curse and the things that it brings with it, because like that's the stuff that's scary. Yeah, like a plague or bugs or sand, you know, like that kind of stuff is the creepy stuff. So I'm glad they're leaning into that.
And you know, it's Lee Cronin who did Evil Dead Rise.
Yep. Which we love.
I think he's a good choice for this.
Yeah.
The cast is a little bit of like unknowns or like lesser known,
which is
people.
Good. Yeah.
I would say the most known person would probably be Jack Rayner, who is unfortunately the only thing I know him really from. I mean, he's in Midsommar, but he's also in Transformers 4, where he has the really famous scene where he's like, no, technically I can't date your 17-year-old daughter even though I'm 20. He's that guy.
Yeah.
Not his fault, obviously. So
he didn't write that movie.
No, he didn't. Thank God. But yeah, teaser shows us glimpses. I think, again, and we talk about this a lot, but I think this is kind of how I like trailers to be. This is how you're going to get me hooked over a 2.5 minute, showing me everything, putting all the jokes, putting too much from scenes that happen later in the movie. Because that was my complaint with Anaconda. I kind of knew what was going to happen because the trailer kind of told you everything.
Yeah.
You know,
we
so
remembered
I like
the
this.
beats from the trailer. Yeah.
Exactly. Zazie beats.
Zazie.
But yeah, I think this looks this has got me slightly more excited than I was before, because I was already kind of excited.
I'm into it. Yeah. I was gonna go see it anyway, but I'm in.
We're in. Okay. Last little bit. We got some Star Wars news.
Okay.
Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down.
Oh, I heard she was stepping up. No.
Nope, she's stepping down. She has run Lucasfilm for the last 15-ish years.
Close to, yeah.
It's been a while, and
she stepped up into it a little over a decade ago. I want to say 2012 was around the time.
I think it was around then, because that was the acquisition of Lucasfilm. So about 15. Yeah, about 15 years.
Yep.
Who's taking over is Dave Filoni, who a lot of people would know. He's the guy that did a lot of animated stuff. Ahsoka. He's had a hand in The Mandalorian.
Yep.
All of that. He's kind of post the Star Wars sequel trilogy. A lot of it has been Dave Filoni direction.
He is the safe replacement, as I would put it.
He
optically, this is the safe move. Oh.
It's Dave Filoni is replacing as the president and chief creative officer, but then Lin-Win Brennan is going to be co-president. So basically, way this is going to work, Lin-Win Brennan is more of the nuts and bolts, admin side, if you will, and Dave Filoni's gonna be more the creative side. So it's kind of like the James Gunn Peter Safran combo, where James Gunn's the creative and Safran's more of the executive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be that kind of combo.
Okay.
And so
Not
with
bad.
that, I want to talk about some things that were announced or
hit me.
was said. So this is all from Kathleen Kennedy. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 things that she said. We're just gonna run through them really quick. This
She goes,
is interesting.
as my final move, I give you the thing you've all been wanting: a sequel to Star Wars Pod Racer.
I hope so.
No, we're getting one. We're getting a sequel to Star Wars Pod Racer.
Yeah, that's right. It's a game. It's a game.
Yeah.
This is all movies and TV news.
Okay.
She said that Taika Waititi turned in a script for his film that she calls hilarious and great.
Good. We need that. We need some
that
comedy
one was
in
gonna
the Star Wars
be
world.
Set on like the edge of the universe, outside of everything that we've known.
The
like,
Outer Rim.
really far away.
Yeah.
I
hope
like
it's
that.
I hope it's like a very isolated, wacky heist film or something. You know.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Like, kind of combine the Jude Law one that he was in, Skeleton Crew, with like a heist or something. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
She confirmed that unfortunately the Hunt for Ben Solo script is on the back burner, which I think is stupid because fans clearly want it. Adam Driver was into it. I would love to see that. I think he's great as Ben Solo.
Yeah.
So that's disappointing. But this
I'm not into anything related to the new trilogy, so I'm fine with that.
I'm into it if it can redeem parts of it, you know?
I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why
Yeah, that's
redeem
fair.
it? Why can't we just move on? There's a whole galaxy I've heard that we can explore.
No, Kevin, there's not.
And you keep reducing it to Ben Solo? No, all right.
I mean, you know what I want. I want Old Republic. Give me Old Republic. Give me a Darth
Go
Revan.
back in time.
Give me a Darth Bane. Give me something like that.
That's not any stuff with the new trilogy, so yeah, I'm in. I'm in on that.
She also said that she talked to the Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan about him developing a Star Wars series.
That'd be great.
I think that would be
I can't believe
interesting.
they'd put Walter White in that universe.
I think they would. I think it'd be cool to get Bryan Cranston back to play the main character in that, and it's just Breaking Bad in space.
We gotta cook up this space meth. I've got cancer again.
No, it could be the death sticks from episode 2. You want to buy some death sticks?
You want some death sticks?
James Mangold, who I really like. He did Ford v Ferrari. He did the new Indiana Jones, which isn't great.
Oh, yeah.
He's supposed to be doing a Swamp Thing for DC.
Yep.
His film is currently on hold, even though the script is incredible.
If it's not a pod racer movie, I'm pissed.
He should do one.
Yep.
Or get the F1 guy.
That's what I want. I want a pod racer movie.
Put them in real pod racers.
And you don't have to do the thing that I like about it is you don't have to do crazy implications. Like it can all be very, as far as how it affects the greater Star Wars universe, it can be very low concept. It can only affect the characters involved in it, and I think that'd be cool.
I want more of that.
I think that's the fatal flaw of most Star Wars properties is they make it more about the wars than the people who just exist amongst the stars, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of these stories should be more isolated or lower stakes or simpler because what the draw to Star Wars to me isn't necessarily what's happening, it's the way things happen. It's the world, it's the Force, it's Jedis, it's people that aren't Jedis, it's bounty hunters, it's spaceships, it's everything. I love all of that. I don't really care if anyways, I don't want to rant about Star Wars. I'm going to stop myself and come back. Donald Glover has officially turned in a script for the Lando movie.
Thank God.
Fuck.
It's about time.
Yeah.
He's actually, here's the funny thing though, is Donald Glover is about to be older than Billy D. Williams was when he played Lando.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing?
They just wait too long to do this shit, man. It's insane.
Well, no, this actually, okay. To segue a little bit, and I know you have more, but ultimately,
I have one more.
Kathleen Kennedy highlighted that the fans unrealistic expectations and backlash when every single thing they wanted wasn't reached or developed properly. It was the worst part of her entire career there, and that's what ruins that's what creates these timelines and holds things back, is because the companies and the boards that oversee the development of these properties, not the people developing them, but the companies that oversee them, when they see the fan reaction or like in their feed, it's just all these bad reactions to stuff online. And it's like literally like incels and fanboys losing their fucking minds over a girl wielding a lightsaber and stuff. They're like, we can't do it. That's our fan base. And then it fucks everything because then things get rewritten, things get changed. And then all of a sudden you've got like and then the next big complaint is me coming in expecting like something like a good movie. And I'm like, what are all these plot holes? And like the developers can't explain that, but it's because the company came in, they're like, you got to change it. You got to change this now. And like, Solo should have just like, honestly, I feel like they should have gone full steam ahead with Solo. Donald Glover they could have had him do more in the next movie. Anyway. Yeah. But like,
there's a lot of
the fans
issues.
are the ones who create most of the issues in the Star Wars universe.
It's a little bit of both because I feel like some fans are very toxic with what they want and they have unrealistic expectations and they complain no matter what. But at the same time, Lucasfilm didn't listen to fans that weren't acting like that and were like, hey, this was something that like we would like to see, like, instead of doing Palpatine, why don't we do Thrawn or make somebody else the villain? And they're like, no, we're gonna do Palpatine again. So they don't listen to anybody.
It's hard to get that point across when like literally right next to you are screamers.
Exactly.
Like people just go,
so I feel like it's a little bit of both. I think the Lucasfilm creative team didn't do their job properly in a lot of ways because I mean, how do you end
we didn't get a Solo too?
Well, how do you end up with Star Wars Episode 9? Like, that's not because of fans being toxic. That happened because a bunch of idiots thought that it was a good idea to make that movie. Like,
where they really missed an opportunity is we could have gotten a beautiful moment with Emilia Clarke and what was that guy's name? What was the guy who played Solo? What's it? Olin Ehrenreich, where he goes, I guess I could go by Han Duo. We missed it. We never. That would have fixed everything in the Star Wars universe.
Yep. Few credits.
And then
the last bit of Star Wars stuff is Simon Kinberg is developing a new Star Wars trilogy with strong support from Dave Filoni and Lin-Win Brennan.
Cool.
So Simon Kinberg, I have very mixed feelings on.
Yeah.
He's helped with some really good stuff. He's also made some really bad stuff, mainly the X-Men prequel, like new cast movies after Days of Future Past. A new Star Wars trilogy. First thought on that is okay, and then my second thought is when's it set?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if it's Old Republic, I'm all for it.
Going back to what we were talking about, that's the problem: is when do you set it, and what? Like, if it's anywhere in between episode 1 and 9, like you're like, all right, what are we retconning? Becomes the next question. Like, it's not even a how bad is it going to be? It's what are we retconning? Like,
I would, if they're like, it's going to be set between 3 and 4, I'm going to be like, fuck you hard.
New rules: episode 4 and 5 are canon. Episode 6 is half canon. Like,
7 is only 10% canon. 8 was a dream, and 9 is a book. And 9 was a book that Anakin read in episode 1.
The end of like the last Star Wars movie ever is going to be George Lucas waking up and someone going, "It was all a dream, George."
Oh my god, that would be awful,
infuriating.
But you know what's missing from all this Star Wars information?
What?
The information on the Rey movie that we're supposed to get that's taking place after episode 9.
See, I want that more than anything else related. You know what? I said I didn't want anything related to that. I'd be cool with the Rey movie. I feel like, what's her name? Daisy Ridley. I feel like she deserves to be in a movie that doesn't have the line, somehow Palpatine has returned. She deserves to be in a trilogy that isn't muddied by incels and fanboys. I think she deserves a good Star Wars movie.
She sure does.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the news, Kevin. That's all.
That's it. That's all the news. We did it. We covered it all. All right. Well, that's the fucking episode. Everybody, thank you for listening to another.
Yeah, we didn't watch anything important this week.
No, Odie Matthews at the movies.
Odie Matthews at the movies.
With Kevin Miner.
I did go to the movies. You're right. Yeah, we went and saw 28 years later, The Get Boned Temple.
I saw Greenland 2 again because it's
No,
so good.
you didn't. No, you didn't. They don't even have coffee in that world. Why would you do that?
I've seen Greenland 2 10 times, Kevin.
Here's what I'll tell you about 28 years later that's better than Greenland 2. They have
Everything.
coffee still.
Everything.
They made it 28 years and still have coffee. Take notes, Gerard Butler. That's actually going to be part of my scale now. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention during Star Wars movies is part of my scale for intergalactic epics now, or like space operas, is it better than Rebel Moon is like an actual bar now? Like,
easy.
You know, like
Easy
there's
bar.
like I have a floor. Like,
Yeah.
and so
That's good.
that makes
That's the
all
basement.
other movies like that are like. So many movies are just better than that already, so they're good. Like they're fun, you know, like they're not garbage or bad just because they're better than Rebel Moon. I feel like Rebel Moon takes up all of garbage and bad for me. You know?
Absolutely.
Anyway, so
28
we
years
saw
later, the Bone Temple.
yes,
I
aka Ralph Fiennes dancing around on opium.
I love
The
that.
movie.
So
covered
this
in iodine.
This movie is written by Alex Garland and
Yes.
directed by Nia DaCosta, who she did the Candyman Legacy sequel and
Yes, which
also
was good.
The Marvels, which is
Yes,
not good.
which was fine.
Not her fault.
It was a
necessarily.
corporate mess. She did the Marvels, which was good on her for not going insane during that
Right?
process.
But this is so Danny Boyle, who obviously started the 28 Days Later,
Yes.
Weeks franchise. He's an executive producer along with Cillian Murphy. So he had no hand in directing or writing with this one, which I think is really interesting.
I'm going to do a short film called 28 Seconds Later.
Are you proud of yourself for that one?
Yes. 100%. Gone in 28 seconds.
I can't wait for you to get sued.
You're excited for that?
Yeah.
That's good because that'll be part of my franchise when I do the movie 28 Citations Later.
Sometimes, guys, you just gotta let Kevin do his bits and laugh. And you just gotta sit here patiently like me, hit the skip 15-second button, you'll be fine. You just gotta let him work through it. It's like a kid who needs his toy, you know, like they rattle it for a second, then they put it down. You just gotta let Kevin work through this.
Okay,
know?
we saw it. We saw the movie. We saw the movie. Let's get into it.
I was.
I'm crying.
I was already into it. I was
crying.
starting.
I'm sorry. I'm crying.
Kevin, crisscross applesauce, come here.
I
trying to have
am
fun with
sitting crisscross applesauce right now.
I can't see your legs.
I'm sitting crisscross applesauce. Here, look, in a bed in Tampa.
So yeah, Danny Boyle not involved, but we talked about a few weeks ago that the third one was greenlit, and it's going to be
Yep.
Alex Garland, Danny Boyle again,
Yep.
writing, directing. I think Nia DaCosta did a great job. They filmed this back to back with the first 28 years later.
Yep.
What are your overall thoughts?
All
on
right,
this
let's-
movie? First,
let's-
overall impression.
Let's handle it. Garbage, bad, fun, good, or great.
I think this is great.
I think it's great too. Hell yeah. No, first off, after seeing Greenland 2 as like my actual first movie of 2026, this was such a relief. Secondly, first good movie that I've seen in 2026. Thank you.
Yep, same.
Nia DaCosta, you knocked it out of the park. 3 overall thoughts. This is, and it's so funny having these conversations afterwards because you and I talk oftentimes, and this is for our listeners. Oftentimes, Odie and I will see a movie within mere hours of each other, and like immediately have an entire podcast episode talking about the
Just
movie,
voice
and then
memos back
we
and
come on
forth.
and we're like, "So, what are your thoughts?" Like,
I already gave you all my thoughts. Just copy and paste my voice memos.
Yeah. You know what I think? This is the best zombie film sequel I've ever seen. This is also, like, you know how I say, like, Andor is the best Star Wars and not Star Wars property? This is the best zombie, not zombie property. You know, like, this falls into a category that I think is more like, I would call it, like, infected dystopia. like
Yeah.
viral dystopia, because we have more of those now, and I don't think they're really properly zombie films anymore. I don't think that this is I think this is a subset of zombie, if you may, but I wouldn't consider this a zombie movie.
I wouldn't either. They don't act like traditional zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as you're infected with the rage virus, people leave you alone.
Yeah.
It's very clear, and this is a big part of this movie, which we'll get into, but it's very clear that there's more going on here than just being a mindless, angry, bloodthirsty creature, which is kind of what zombies are.
Yeah. Also, the rage virus is way faster than being a zombie. Like zombie films, someone gets bit and they're like, "Oh no," and people are like, "All right, we've got hours." Rage virus is and you even see it in this movie. It's you have seconds to respond and get away from this person. But yeah,
and they
so
still have to eat. That's the other thing, is that they don't eat just brains. They eat whatever they
blackberries.
can find.
But so this in this world, and what this really showed me was these aren't really zombie films. They fall into that category if you want them to. Totally fine. I'm not going to argue with that.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to stand up on a pedestal and be like, these aren't zombie films. And
You
here's
can put
the
them in that
scientific
category
reasons. Yeah.
For simplicity purposes.
But yeah. So if in that category, I'm actually qualifying. I'm going to say this is the best zombie sequel film I've ever seen, period.
I'm trying to think of what other zombie sequels.
Well, you've got your, you've got your Day of the Dead, and then
Train to Busan has a pretty decent sequel.
It's fine. The sequel's fine. Train to Busan is the best zombie film ever, period. If you're a zombie film fan and you haven't seen it, go see it. If you have seen it, go watch it again. Take a break, come back to us. Now's a good time to watch Train to Busan. But this is probably, I would put this up in my top 5 zombie films now. This one in particular, not just the franchise. And actually, this film elevated the 28 days, years, citations, felonies franchise, in my mind, to another level. This really brought it up. This movie specifically.
I agree. I think what makes this one the most interesting... Well, I guess I don't talk about more in spoilers. First off, let's talk about the cast. I think Ralph Fiennes does a great job. I think him back as Dr. Kelson is
this movie.
I think it was
real.
It was a good choice to have Spike, the young kid who we focused on in the first 28 years later. In some ways, he takes a back seat. To the main plot. We have the Jimmy Crystal gang run by Jack O'Connell, and,
who is just killing
he's
in
incredible.
This movie. Yeah,
incredible. And then we have Aaron Kellyman, who was actually in Solo as one of the Jimmies. Everybody's named Jimmy. I like that whole subplot is really just about Spike knowing that he needs to get the fuck out of there and not knowing how.
I also want to highlight Aaron Kellyman and Emma Laird. Fucking absolutely amazing. Huh?
She's from Solo and The Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Aaron Kellyman is so good.
She's great.
She's so good. Everybody in the cast is just amazing in this movie.
People that I was expecting to see that didn't return, Aaron Taylor Johnson, which is fine.
I'm glad he didn't return, because it seems like everything that happens in this particular movie, all of this seemed to have happened over the course of a couple days. You know what I mean? And in my, if they had done a time lapse, I would have been all right, you mean Aaron Taylor Johnson hasn't gone back out into the woods to hunt since then or anything like that? But
I think he'll pop up in the third.
Yeah, this all seems to have happened very quickly. And so I think it's fine to not have him in it. I'm really glad, because I feel like if he was in it, and this might have been a call made by, Garland or Nia DaCosta, but to have him in it would have been too much. There's already enough in this film, and it was,
he doesn't
fit. When you go out for all you can eat sushi and you eat just enough and you feel great after, and then sometimes you go out for all you can eat sushi and your friend's I can't finish these Philadelphia rolls, and you're wow, that cream cheese is gonna sit, but we gotta finish it or else we gotta pay for the whole roll. Rolls. And then you eat the Philadelphia rolls, and then you're feeling not great later. This could have been that night, but instead it was the night where you feel just right.
Rolls.
I don't like cream cheese and sushi.
I was just talking about them the other day.
All right, I like them. But that's my comparison.
I like it. I'm on board.
All right.
Yeah,
But yeah.
no, I think that this movie is very well balanced between what Ralph Fiennes is up to with his buddy Samson and the Jimmy Crystal gang. Just seeing
100%.
how what I think I liked a lot about this one was how much it highlights that somebody like Jimmy Crystal could get a bunch of people, think he's the son of the devil, and go around and torturing people and murdering them because he is insane. He's a psychopath who doesn't have a moral compass and thinks that this is what he's called to do, is to go around and fillet people in barns. And I really liked how throughout the course his Jimmy gang gets taken out in kind of like lackluster ways to some extent. Spike has to fight one in the very beginning. It's like the first scene, and he just happens to stab him in an artery, and the guy bleeds out. And then like everybody else just kind of just dies throughout the course.
Yeah, just for entertainment. In the very beginning of this film, Spike is surrounded by the Jimmy gang, and these are their names. So in the center we have Spike, and then surrounding him are Jimmy Shite, Jimmy Ink, Jimmy Jones, Jimmy Snake, Jimmy, and Jimina, and Jimmy Fox.
Jimmy is my favorite.
Jimmy is hilarious. I believe the one he kills is Jimmy Shite.
Yeah, Jimmy Shite.
So he kills Jimmy Shite, really living up to your name there, Jimmy Shite, because he's a right Shite. But yeah, so he kills him, and then unbeknownst to him, that enters him into the Jimmy gang. Jimmy's like, congrats, you've won, you're in, and let's go kill people now. Let's go kill more.
I like that it's really just them kind of going through and they're just kind of like on their own path that eventually crosses with Ralph Fiennes' character. Yeah. While you have Ralph Fiennes do it, his bone temple is complete. It's a tribute to the dead. It's like a graveyard.
The ossuary.
And ossuary. And then,
You're welcome.
It's him with Samson from the first one. And Samson is the alpha who rips the head off the Swedish guy who shows up from a boat.
Yep.
The one that has a girlfriend that Spike's like, is she allergic to shellfish? Why does her face look like that?
Exactly. Let's TLDR this. So Spike is on a reluctant journey with a gang of ne'er-do-wells who are sowing the countryside with chaos and charity. And meanwhile, Ralph Fiennes is just tripping out and having a good time with his zombie bud,
That is honestly, that was the most relatable part, is it was
so great.
That would be me. Like, just licking my morphine, opiate-induced tranquilizer darts and just tripping and dancing with a mindless guy.
And so then their worlds collide, and that's what this film is about. It's about, these two sort of opposite approaches to the post-apocalyptic world of 28 years later colliding in a very fantastical way, right? And we see this mostly through the eyes of Dr. Kelson, Jimmy, and Jimmy Inc. And of course, there's a lot of what Alfie's showing us, but all of the scenes that revolve around Alfie are conflicts that he's having with the world as it's operating around him. So the movie's not about
Spike?
Alfie. The movie's not about Spike, played by Alfie Williams. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, you're talking about the actor, but I was like, I know who you're talking about.
So the movie's not really about Spike. It's about all of these other characters and what their life has been like, not living on that little island that he's from, and how has the world changed them? What has it turned them into? And not only that, I think it bears mentioning Jimmy is actually the first character we saw in 28 years later. Yeah. Jimmy is he's this character who hides under the floorboards in the church as as all hell breaks loose in the UK. Yeah. Right. And so it's cool to see him come in, not as some sort of because a lot of times we get that story and that character who shows up is the survivalist, I've been making my way through downtown, walking fast, if paces pass, and I'm homebound with zombie heads. But he's not that. Instead, he's a psychopath.
Yeah. Yeah. What I really liked about the contrast between these two, because Here's the thing. I think if you get rid of the ending, and I'm talking about the last 5 minutes of this movie,
Yes.
you could have ended these two. They could have been just these two, and we have a complete story.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we're obviously getting a third. We'll talk about the ending. I have my own thoughts. I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But what I like about this is the first one is Spike, and he has his mother who's really, really sick, his father who is cheating on his mom because, he knows that his wife's going to die. He takes Spike out into the world for the first time.
Yep.
It's Spike seeing what the world is around him like discovering the dangers of it, the horrors of it, but he sees hope when he hears about a doctor, so he takes his mom there, and it's kind of like Spike almost coming of age. It's almost like that tradition in the Amish world where like you can leave Rumspringa or whatever it's called.
Rumspringa. Yep.
Yeah. So I like that, and then he decides, hey, you know what? I'm not going to go back to the safety and familiarity of my home. I'm going to go out and I'm going to see what this world is really about. And he runs into Jimmy Crystal.
Immediately.
I think that these two, immediately. I think that these two, like the story that this movie plays out, like, because I think you got to really look at this as like. Almost you could take these two movies like Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 and put them together and watch them directly back to back, because it really is a story about Ralph Fiennes' character, Dr. Kelson. Kelson?
100%.
Is it Kelson? Kelson and
Ian
Spike.
Kelson.
Ian and Spike, it's really their story, but I like the way that Spike is a center point in the first one, and in the second one, it's more, and I don't know if you got this vibe, but I kind of got the vibe that he's like, oh, this is the horrors of the world, and like leaving the safety of where I'm at has led me to this. Now I've got to like really kick it into high gear for survival.
There's a couple times where Spike really kicks it into high gear in this movie.
Well, he tries to escape. I mean, like as it progresses, like he kicks it into high gear towards the end because he tries to escape twice.
Yeah,
he's trying to get out.
I think, and what we're seeing is his attempts to bargain with the world around him. I think, what else can we cover before we get into spoilers? I think that kind of wraps it up. Like,
I think what I want to talk about is really in spoilers.
Yeah, we develop out Ian Kelson's character, and like it is shown in the teaser, so I think it's worth mentioning. Like, he does think that he's on the way to discovering a cure via very scientific methods, right? And that's part of the interplay between the two, because Jimmy Crystal has a completely different take on the world than Dr. Kelson does. And you almost have this this clashing of myth and science that usually happens in a way that it doesn't happen in this film, and I thought that was something that made it unique as well. So let's get into spoilers. Okay. You go first.
Thing
go ahead.
I want to talk about is Samson and Ian.
Best part of the film.
Honestly, that was the part that I loved the most. So
would you believe it if I told you I laughed loud and I was the only person in my theater who laughed every time they were on screen?
Oh yeah, no, it was great.
Every time I was just giggling and having a great time.
They're great. Yeah. So to kind of like summarize this plot, because there's a lot to it, but Ian obviously has a relationship with Samson in the first one.
Yes.
Throughout the course of this one, he learns that like Samson wants the tranquilizer darts because it kind of calms the chaos in his brain. At one point,
it's morphine, dude. He's
chill, man.
Here's the thing: his zombie friend has become addicted to morphine. That's what's really happening here. It's amazing,
and that's
I
awesome.
Love it. Yeah, it's fun.
So there's a point where Dr. Ian's like, I'm gonna give you a sweet relief. I'm gonna let you have permanent, peace of mind. And as soon as he goes to do that, Samson says, which is the first time we've ever heard in any of these four movies, one of the infected speak. He says moon. Yeah. And then we get like. That progresses to where Samson goes back to this train where he was as a kid when the outbreak like started, and when he said, "Oh, I don't have a ticket," I like audibly gasped. I was like, "Oh my god!" Because I feel like
that was awesome.
This movie handles the cure in a way that I didn't realize I even wanted in zombie movies. Yeah, because all it really does is give him clarity.
Yeah.
And at the end, when he like thanks Dr. Kelson, when he's like, "Thank you," like all of that progression is so natural. It's so organic. It plays out in a way that's really believable. It's not just he's morphined and then he's cured. It's multiple scenes of him getting there. And I just like something about that just like really hit.
Yeah. I think tacking onto what you put, like there's a bad version of this movie where he delivers a monologue at the end, like, and we didn't get that. And thank you, Nia DaCosta, for holding back. Cause it's like, you can get excited with these characters. And I feel like sometimes creators, like they want to give the monster a moment to speak, and like really speak and really awe people with their eloquence. But like, I like that it's very simple sentences. It's the bare minimum, and it's everything that you need every single time it happens. But the thing that I like the most about it is when you first see this interaction happening, there still is some question, and Ian Kelson embodies those questions. Like he's like, I wonder, do you have thoughts going on in there, or are you just getting high with me? Like he's like, I don't know. Am I actually curing you? And then he's coming up with this cocktail. And then it bears mentioning that, like, the moment that he's saying he's going to give him permanent relief, it's because he's been trying to get him to speak or dance or be more human. And he's like, hey, dude, I'm going to run out of morphine soon. And I can't go further than 70 miles from here. And we've used up all the morphine for 70 miles.
For 28 years.
Yeah, and he's like, we've used it up, man. So if you're not going to be more human yet, I'm going to have to kill you.
I don't know what else to do.
And Samson's just like, Moon. And he's like, oh, shit. No, okay, shit. All right. You got it, man.
And I like the parallel that the book he's reading on the train as a kid when the outbreak came out was about the moon.
Yeah, it has a moon
like,
in it. Yeah.
I think that that subtlety of, like, why is he so obsessed with the moon? Oh, because he's reading a book.
Yeah.
And then he's on the train, he's talking about how he doesn't have a ticket, and then he fights a bunch of infected, which I think was cool. And then he shows up at the end because, spoiler alert, Ian gets stabbed and doesn't make it out of this movie, which I figured there was no way he was going to make it out of this movie. I knew he wasn't.
Yeah.
Whether it was, I thought one of two things was going to happen. I either thought Jimmy was going to kill him, which is what happened, or Samson was going to be almost cured, break out of it, and then kill him.
And you know what's nice is that you still have that question going into that final conflict, right? Into the climax of this film. You still have the question, you're like, is this actually a cure, or is it just like a temporary sedative? Like, what are we looking at here, So I thought that was cool. Obviously, the counterpart to this is Jimmy Crystal. Now, Dr. Ian Kelson represents the scientific side. He's experimenting. He's learning. He's like, he's like, possibly recognizing that there's a failed experiment. He's very grounded in the natural and anatomy. And in between being grounded in that, I got to say, he's got a dope record collection, too. That was pretty dope. Like a little Radiohead, little The Clash, like amazing.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Also, I liked that there was, because you just made me think of this real quick, talking about how he's grounded in the science.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good moments where you see his little bunker, and it's just quick shots of all these medical books and all these different types and all these different kinds from, some look really, really old, some look like they would have been new at the time of the infection, and it really highlights how much he's trying to find a cure. And I like that it's not just, you don't get like a montage of him reading books and stuff. It's very clear where his passion is, where his intelligence lies, and it doesn't need to be shoved down your throat where he doesn't get this monologue where he's like, and I've read every medical book for 70 miles, it's just, he's got a lot of books.
Sometimes a montage or a statement like that is the over explanation that can like bring down the quality of a story, right?
Absolutely.
And so I'm glad we didn't get that. On the opposite end, and normally this is played out between science and Christianity, the religion. Instead, the religion,
Satanism.
the monomyth that we're presented with in the form of Jimmy Crystal, is Satanism.
I love that.
What a refreshing take, because so many times it's like the overzealous, over-pious religious guy who it turns out is like a living, walking hypocrisy.
Yeah.
No, instead it's a Satanist, and it's a guy who's like, I'm going to cleanse the world with fire and chaos and pain. Like, and you're like, oh shit, no, oh okay. And he has a band of, for all rights and purposes, children to do this with him. And he is going around the countryside like the Pied Piper he is, just flaying people, and he's convinced these children that this is the way of life. And honestly, they're not living too horribly under him, other than the fact that every once in a while one of them has to fight to the death.
That would suck.
the thing that I appreciate the most about the Jimmy Crystal gang and like the moments that we see them are when we get those really wide shots where a like an infected, a rage virus infected person or a zombie, let's just say zombie, when a zombie's running at them, and they just very calmly, like, they see them and, like, you can see them, like, looking and timing, and then they just kill them at the right moment.
And
you're
they
like,
dodge the blood. That little extra, like, tuck and roll to dodge the blood.
Yep.
I thought that was such a nice little addition. They've done this so much that they know how to even avoid the blood splatter. Because earlier, you see somebody go to kill a zombie, and they get blood all over them, and it turns them. Whereas then you get those guys where they just, like, duck and... I'm sorry, I just love that.
Very quick. Yeah, they're very efficient, and they've learned this under Jimmy Crystal. So, like, you know, horrible man, bad, like, great villain, but ultimately has kept these kids alive for, you know, horrible purposes. But yeah, but so they've learned this and they've adapted and they've all overcome, and like they're survivors, but they're the worst type of survivors. And like not even parallel to them, but as part of their story, they come across a group of people who we see earlier hunting. They lose one of the members of their little collective, their little farm. One of them is pregnant. One of them is named, I forget their names. They're like Tom and Nina or something.
I don't think,
like,
names didn't matter as much.
Well, one of them does matter because she gets away. But the Jimmy Crystal gang, while they were out hunting, have shown up at this farm and, you know, are basically holding everyone hostage, you know, like, and it made me ask, like, when we get that first scene where they come inside, and the guy's name was Tom, and I only know that because people are yelling Tom and saying Tom in the movie. But when they go inside, Jimmy Crystal's just calmly sitting there having a great time regaling people with a story and, you know, talking about things. And the tension is very real. It felt a lot like the scene from Inglourious Bastards, like the first scene with Hans Landa and the farmer, right? It felt a lot like that scene. I'm like, ooh, all right. Yeah, we know what bomb's going to go off here. And when it does go off, like, you get like these funny little moments, like Jimmy Crystal is just like you can see the schizophrenic, almost like bipolar side of him, and he thinks he can channel old Nick, he calls him, but it's Satan, and he ends up like kind of pushing the limits of his welcome in this place, tenuous though it may be to begin with. And I love that the first thing someone does is throw boiling water on him. Like,
and miss
at the table. Yeah, they throw it at the table and miss. And it's like, wow. And then just chaos erupts. And we get the view of what Jimmy Crystal Gang's really about, which is flaying
That scene was
people.
hard to watch.
That was really hard. And so
yeah.
Jimmy Crystal they have this ritual, we'll call it, that they go through called charity. And they have all different kinds of charity, and they have code names, and they thank God they don't run through the list, you know, like they're just like you see a couple people attempting to enact. So we see taking someone's shirt off is skinning their upper body, right? And I assume because the psycho girl Jamina says that she's going to take a guy's pants off, that means flaying your lower body. So I was like, oh shit, no, this is dark. And it turns kind of into a hostile scene for a moment, you know?
Yeah. It's a little much, but I do like how that scene escalates to the girl that got away, the pregnant one's up in the barn.
Yeah.
The last survivor of that family gets the same deal that Spike did. Pick somebody to fight. If you win, you become Jimmy. If you lose, you die. And then right before he's about to get his pants filleted, the girl gets a fucking hook through her.
Yeah, let me tell you something about that. First off, if someone was like, you got to fight one of these people, I'm not going to fight the silent girl wearing fairy wings. Like, this is just me. This is not me saying I would survive this scenario. This is me saying I would not pick her because she's the same girl who was doing the fucking dipsy dance at lunch earlier. And like, you should know that's the crazy one, man. Don't mess with the crazy one.
Doing the dipsy dance, you have to know she's the crazy one.
Yeah, don't mess with the dipsy dance. Like,
just heads up, my recording stopped for a second and then restarted.
Okay,
I don't
that's
know
fine.
what happened. Just so you know,
We'll figure it out.
that don't pick the one who did the Teletubby dance.
No,
That's
not
rule
at
one.
all. No, yeah. So, like, first up, wrong choice. And then she kind of, like, is explaining it to him right before she gets a hook to the head from, I'm going to call her Nina. I don't know what her name is. But, like, and then that lady is escaping, the pregnant lady, and Jimmy, after all hell breaks loose and people are being lit on fire and stuff, like, you know, it's kind of, it's the chaos from before, but this time the survivors have the upper hand. And then after all of that, because Jimmy Inc. is sitting outside and kind of bonding with Spike for the first time. And you can tell that Jimmy Inc. isn't fully bought into the Jimmy gang, right? Just
Yeah.
like kind
She's
of
on the
knows how to
edge.
survive, right? Yeah, like part of her survival is like, yeah, I guess I'm with this gang for as much as I have to be. But whatever it is in Spike that she sees that makes her kind of want to spend some time and, like, you know, like be more with Spike, brings her to this point where when Spike's like, I can't go in there and watch them flay people, she's like, yeah, we'll sit down outside. Go ahead. Like, you know, like we'll chill out here. It's fine. It's day one for you, rookie. You don't have to watch it this time. But then the lady's escaping and Jimmy sends Spike after her, and Spike shows up. Like, Spike goes, he chases her to the gate, and he had her dead to rights at the gate, right? He's got his arrow drawn. She's at the gates, and then he drops the arrow because he can't kill a person, right? He doesn't want to just kill another human being, and he goes, take me with you. He's
She
like, please.
punches him.
In the dick. She punches him
Which
in the
is
dick
the
real hard.
best.
Yep. And then gets out. And what I like about that is, in my mind, that act of, like, reluctant kindness will either come back for better or worse in the next movie. Like, I feel like she's going to come back in the next one, right?
Yeah.
For better or for worse. She might show up and be like, no, he skinned my farm, you know, like, or she might show up and be like, oh, that's the only guy who was nice to me. Yeah, so we get that. And then he comes back and Jimmy Crystal's, like, really pissed. And the Jimmy gang really isn't big on Spike to begin with. Like, he killed Jimmy Shite, and people are like, oh, no, we actually like Jimmy Shite. But fuck this guy. But I guess he's in now. Those are them's the rules. And meanwhile, Jimmy Inc. has found Kelson's ossuary and is like, hey, I found Satan. I found old Nick. He's all red. He's covered in iodine. She doesn't know that, right? But she's like, hey, I found a guy. He's all red, and he's dancing in a giant bone temple, and he's got a demon. He's got one of his minions. And you talk about this all the time, Jimmy. So let's go. You know, like, and that's just because she was sent out scouting earlier. So, like, she's like, oh, I'm going to miss Charity. You know, like, at first, like, she's kind of bummed, but then, like, she goes scouting. She sees this, and you can tell that moment of seeing Dr. Kelson kind of, like, shook her belief in everything that Jimmy was talking about anyway. And then when they get to Dr. Kelson's, it becomes more clear because she's like, I don't think he's telling the truth about being Satan's son, you know? And, like, yeah, duh, girl.
Yeah, no shit. I like the final act with that, where Kelson puts on this big fire show to pretend to be the devil, and then he kind of, like, gets the upper hand where he's like, because Jimmy's like, what are your commandments? And he gives him 3, and he's like, also, actually, oh shit, Spike is here. I need a sacrifice. God sacrificed his only son, so I need you to be sacrificed. And then I like how that kind of, like, flips it on Jimmy Crystal.
That was an amazing scene, because what you ended up having was they all come together, and you can tell that Jimmy Crystal has given Dr. Kelson, under threat of death, these commandments. And Dr. Kelson, he's at a point in his life where, like, it's been 28 years and he's finally on the edge of a cure, you know, and Samson's run away. And then in between that, he's got this guy that shows up and is like, hey, you're going to be Satan, and you're going to tell my minions that they have to follow me no matter what. And you're going to give them, and those are the commandments, right? And that's what you're going to tell them. And then we're going to peace out, and I'm going to go murder people again. And Dr. Kelson, you can, like, he puts on, first off, Ralph Fiennes, like, steals the show.
Incredible.
Steals the show, dressing up like a British punk rock goth fiend, playing 666, the number of the beast by Iron Maiden, and just absolutely losing his mind. That was and like I think what does he blow in there? He blows like some sort of drug in their face and it makes them all blurry for a second.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know what that was, but it's something.
I don't know either. Yeah, I was like, oh, dude, this is crazy. But he does an amazing performance by Ralph Fiennes, just absolutely summoning the most spirited version of himself. And I've never seen him be this character in a movie before. You know, I've never seen this wild, like opium and dancing, zombie loving Ralph Fiennes, and I absolutely loved every second of it. And then, yeah, he sees Spike and he goes, "Oh shit." One more commandment. I demand a sacrifice. I'm going to keep him here with me. And Jimmy Crystal's like, no, no, you're not. And then we get our big climactic fight scene where, like, I feel like Spike joined the Jimmy Crystal gang just as everything was falling apart. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what kind of feels right because, like, it's amazing. Like, in some ways, you watch the Jimmy Crystal gang and you're like, it's amazing you guys are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
yeah,
Spike just happened to be because he was underestimated. You know, like they had him go up against Jimmy Shite in the beginning because they're like, oh, he's gonna kill this kid. It's fine. He won, and now they're like, well, fuck, he has to be a part of our gang because dim the rules and everything because he let the girl get away. Because he's there, things that
they just
like
fall
is the
apart.
crap. Yeah, and I think that's a really good way. And then at the very end, Jimmy Crystal stabs Dr. Ian Kelson.
Very sadly.
Jimmy Inc. kills the last remaining two Jimmys very quickly, just with no
Yeah,
problem.
she's the most lethal of all of them.
Absolutely.
Like, just like absolute cold-blooded killer. It's just wild. Like, that's another part of like how the Jimmy Crystal gang falls a lot apart is like Jimmy Inc's not around to just like, I guess, like looking at them, you're like, how did they survive? I guess Jimmy Inc. was just carrying the weight.
It was Jimmy Inc. and the Bitsy dance girl, but she got a spike to her head.
Psychopaths. Oh my god.
And then at the very end, Jimmy Crystal gets stabbed by Spike, which is great.
Yep.
Great full circle. And then he gets crucified upside down, which is very satanic. And I love that
He gets
imagery.
the satanic version of the Passion of Christ. You know, like that's And Jimmy Inc. is more than happy to put the nails in. Like,
oh yeah, and he's like, I got this. And
I like that we didn't see the nails. By the way, I like that we just heard the sound and then
you see him
cuts
briefly
to them walking away.
Yeah. And then Samson shows back up and picks up Dr. Ian Kelson and says thank you.
Yep.
And you can see for the first time in his eyes the bloodshot, the red that signifies like you have the rage virus is gone.
Yep.
And what I liked about that with him being cured is his body is still tattered. His body is still scarred and worn and gross and icky, but his mind is back.
Yeah.
And that shows that, even if you have the rage virus and your outside of your body looks like shit, maybe everything on the inside is still working. It's just clouded.
Yeah. And Dr. Ian Kelson has that moment in the movie where he's like, I wonder if it's just sort of over your mind and not actually in it. Yeah. And like, that was really cool. Like that, you can see without over explaining the pseudoscience behind it, he's kind of saying, hey, here's some cause and effect that I think will work. And it does. And, Samson shows up and then we get, I think probably the most like amazing shot of the whole film. I love the POV from Jimmy Crystal looking upside down into this endless sea of stars with bones that seem to just like extend downward and end like an abyss, right? He's looking into the abyss and then real quick, really the only like proper jump scare of the entire movie is Samson then like jumping up and like raging out in front of and I couldn't tell if it was Samson or if it was just like a random infected person.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And if it was Samson, maybe he just got mad because he killed his friend.
Well, you also don't know how long he was there. Yeah. And I think it was either Samson because he killed his friend or an infected person who just came along later.
Exactly.
But either way,
moves in.
Yeah, sorry. Either way, good ending for that part of that part of this this trilogy story.
And that's where I feel like you could have ended this 4-movie sequence, series could have ended right there, and it would have been
jump scare
with a little bit of hope about a cure, a little bit of life lesson.
Yeah.
But we cut to one Mr. Cillian Murphy teaching
and his
daughter about, the consequences of government and power and regimes and the fall and the rise. And I think it's really funny because she's like, is this going to be on the test? He's like, well, knowing this will just help you on the test. She's like, Dad, you're the one giving the test. And he's like, I know. Yeah.
Just a little cheeky.
I love the little, for those that don't know, I was homeschooled until high school. So I love the little, that's a homeschool joke if I've ever fucking heard one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's so funny. But it ends with them seeing Jimmy Inc. and Spike running from a horde. And she's like, are we going to help him? And he's like, yeah, we're going to help him. And then, boom, credits. And here's what I love. I watched an interview with Nia DaCosta about that. And she said that the one thing that they wanted to avoid was the superhero cameo showing up at the end. They didn't want it to be they're in trouble, Cillian Murphy comes in, guns blazing, bam, 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 and saves them and goes, come with me if you want to live kind of thing. It was, no, this is who he is now, and this is how he's introduced. He's a father, he cares, he's still intelligent, he's a remnant of before the infection, before the outbreak, and he's a survivalist. He has survived. And how has he survived? We don't know, but we know he has.
Seemingly peacefully. Seemingly very well and peacefully in a cottage. His daughter doesn't appear to be much more than 15 maybe, right? Teenage. What's interesting about that is that shows, because we also don't see his partner, right? So she's not there. So there's okay, well, something happened in those 28 years that we'll probably learn about later.
I'm calling it.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe.
She died in childbirth.
Well, that would make sense because no hospitals. So,
Exactly.
Might have been a rough time. And, just Cillian Murphy trying to deliver a baby might not be the best.
He wasn't the most qualified.
Once again, not a superhero. But yeah, so it's cool to see that, and what that does. All the little things were shown in that scene give us a glimpse of how they've survived, and seemingly peacefully. There's a lot of walls around where they are, which I think is very indicative that a lot of effort has gone into building those while surviving, and they also seem to keep the infected out. I would assume it makes it harder for the maybe not keeping them completely out because they still have guns and stuff, but I'm assuming that this structure and the way that things are set up is designed to keep them further away. And I think there was some sort of a warning system, something got tripped and they were like, oh, hey, there's people out there, or they maybe heard them. I don't know. But
I think part of that too is and I think this logic makes sense. 28 days and 28 weeks take place in the major cities. Yeah. And then 28 years moves to the countryside. Yeah. I think, obviously more rural areas, less population, less chance of, infection, better chance you have of
to survive.
If you have a wide open area, you can see them coming. There's probably less people. You have a good chance of, if you have, the means, maybe you can take a lot of them out and reduce the infection population.
Yeah. And you need to know how to farm. Apparently, that's
a big part.
That's the big rules. You got to know how to farm, because you're going back to agrarian days. Yeah, all in all, great movie, great storytelling. I'm excited for the third chapter. I think that'll be a really great way to hopefully wrap up the 28 days, weeks, months, years.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the next one. I'm hoping for two things. One, I would like for them to go back into a big city. I would like a little bit more of tension of big city, more people, more infection.
Yep.
But mostly I would like to see what we got in the last one, which is somebody from the normal outside of the quarantine world coming in and giving us a little bit of a perspective of somebody from the outside world. I kind of liked that, but I would like to have somebody that's not a complete dickbag like the last guy. I would like to have somebody that's a little bit more competent, maybe not a soldier, maybe a doctor. I would like to see, maybe picking up the mantle of where Dr. Kelson left off. Maybe somebody who's been studying the infection from the outside sneaks in and runs into him or something. Just something from the outside world. I don't know what, but something would be nice.
Well, and we know that the UK is a quarantine zone. So this is where the virus exists. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And the way that the world has prevented it from getting outside is just by quarantining an island. So yeah, I think a really good the things that I'm looking forward to seeing are What does it look like when Spike reunites with his good-for-nothing dad? What does it look like when Cillian Murphy finds out that there's a settlement not too far away? And then how do all of these things culminate with Spike now having gone through seemingly like 2 coming-of-age stories in a very short amount of time? I think it's good. It's definitely, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. How are people going to handle Samson? You know, like what, like,
what's going on there?
The only person who knows he was cognizant has died. So like, how's this going to play out? I'm really intrigued to see how people handle that. And like the fact that I have so much intrigue is good. Like that these movies have told a good story so far.
But I guess Spike and Jimmy Inc. saw Samson come pick up Dr. Kelson, and they probably heard him say thank you. So maybe that will be, because they were standing right there.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that'll play a part, or not.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yep. It's going to be interesting. I'm definitely excited for whatever the third 28 years later is going to be. And I'm also hoping, and this is a personal hope of mine, I hope that's the end of it. You know, I hope they're like, we've wrapped it up in that universe, you know, because like the last thing I want them to do is be like, all right, and now it's, you know, because like Walking Dead seems to, much like many zombies, just not die. And like there's too many spinoffs. Like some people, I don't even know anyone who's a fan of all of it. You know, like
I don't even know. I couldn't.
Like,
even
who
name.
are you doing this for at this point? But like
Money.
and I'd like to see, you know, just 28 years later, be like, and you can tie a bow on these stories and call it a day.
And that bow doesn't need to be everybody's cured and the quarantine is lifted. No, it could just be these people that we've been following now meeting up with Jim, Cillian Murphy's character, and their story coming to an end. But it doesn't mean that the quarantine needs to be lifted. It doesn't mean there needs to be a mass cure. I don't need any of that for a satisfying ending in this.
Yeah, it would actually be better if it was like, maybe someday the quarantine will be lifted, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. That's Odie Matthews said the movies this week. Good movie. First good movie of the year. Yay, we did it. First good movie of 2026. What's your jam this week?
This is a big lead up to my jam. I'll just say my jam is Fallout 4.
Nice. Yeah. You're playing in the Commonwealth. You're having a good time.
I'm having a great time. I played for so much yesterday. My eyes hurt.
Nice.
It was awesome. I loved it, and it's my favorite. And I'm gonna do that again today because my partner is sick, which is why we canceled D&D.
Oh, jeez.
So I got nothing else to do, and I'm not being near him. I love him, but I'm not being near him because I don't want to get sick. Here's the thing. There's a countdown timer that ends when Fallout Season 2 ends. It's a countdown on the Fallout website, and it's like, hey, like it's counting down days, and it matches up when the last episode of Fallout Season 2 ends.
Yes.
Additionally, on Steam, Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, which in 2022 were leaked to be being remastered.
Yes.
There is a little warning or like a little pop-up when you try to leave a review that says you have to wait for this game to come out in order to leave a review, which is the same thing that happened when the Oblivion remaster came out.
Yep.
So, if this is true, we are hopefully, fingers crossed, either getting Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas or both in the next month being remastered.
If we're getting both, I will be playing New Vegas all over again because that game is so much fun.
It'll be.
We've already talked about this. Yeah.
I'll play New Vegas first, and then I will play Fallout 3. I do like Fallout 3. That's a good one.
Fallout 3 is good.
That's the first Fallout I played.
My favorite part of Fallout 3 is when you discover the vault where the guy has trapped everybody in his like fake reality, like the suburban helltopia that exists there.
I've been playing Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's Boston. I love Boston. I love Fallout 4. It's very, very good. I forgot how much I love it.
Oh, yeah.
My biggest complaint with that is I'm not a big fan of crafting. I think crafting slows down a game.
There's a lot of crafting in that game.
There's a lot of crafting. So this is what I do. I don't do the settlements because as soon as you do, every 5 minutes they're like, a settlement's in danger. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So I don't even activate
the
that.
Minutemen stuff, yeah.
Yep, I don't even activate it. Like clockwork, I do the Red Rocket gas station. I make it my little like farm.
Your home.
I take dog meat. He's the only companion you ever take because everybody else is not. It's a dog.
They're fine.
Put a bandana on him. It's awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, I wanted to get through this just because I'm hoping New Vegas comes out, because that game remastered. I have a 4K
So good.
monitor, so like that with a PlayStation 5 is just gonna be. I'm so excited. Fallout 4 is so fucking good. But I just love Fallout. Like, Fallout is genuinely my favorite game series ever. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game of all time. Fallout 4 is probably in my top 5 at number 5. Like, it's just, there's such good games. They're so creative. I love Into the World. I love the retro futuristic, like, look of it. But most importantly, the Fallout Season 2 show is just absolutely crushing it. I'm caught up, and it's
been so great.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm wondering if they'll put Kumail Nanjiani in the Commonwealth as a DLC. You know, like, I feel like that would be a ton of fun if, like, from being in the show, they were just like, and now you're gonna play that guy in the movie, in the games. You know, like, that would be great. And then you get to kill him again. Spoiler alert. The Fallout games are all phenomenal. The show is absolutely phenomenal. Magic the Gathering just announced a Fallout Secret Lair, which is like a limited edition printing that you kind of have to like get in line for, and like they don't do them print to order anymore, which is like the dumbest thing in the world in corporate greed, it being exemplified. But the cards do look cool. The mechanics are cool. Like, there's a lot of love going on for Fallout right now, and I think that's awesome, because if Fallout continues to do well and it's on Amazon, I think one thing that we might end up seeing are like some Elder Scrolls shows or something, and that would be cool
I think
too.
So.
There's a lot of potential here for cool things, and so far it's all been good. Knock on fucking wood, and don't tell the board of directors. Nobody tell them it's all good, because they'll fuck it up. You know, like. So yeah, I'm totally with you. That's a really good jam. My jam this week, I went back into, there's a band that I loved that probably the band that I've seen the most times ever in 1 year, and they're on tour again this year. They disbanded somewhere around like 2018, I think. They're called Let Live, LETLIV period. That's the band name, all lowercase. They are one of the best anti-government punk post-rock bands I've ever listened to. Their lyrics are phenomenal. Jason Aylan Butler is an absolute machine when it comes to pumping out like just counterculture anthems. He also is in a band called Fever 333. They did a song for Arcane. That's the level that he's gotten to, you know, with these projects and stuff. And Let Live was like, they're a sheer force. Like, anytime I saw them, he's one of those singers that's like jumping around on stage and screaming the lyrics and like jumping into the crowd like more than once per show, you know, like not even planned. Like, you don't know what's going to happen next. And I'll never forget, I saw them open up for Under Oath in Philadelphia, and he like pulled the amp over on himself, I think by accident, but like the lyrics never stopped. You hear like the singing and screaming still happening under the amp. I was just like, this guy's nuts. Like, I absolutely love him forever and ever. And then I got to meet him after the show. One of the nicest, like, and like, it's like two different modes, you know, like you meet him. I was like, dude, love the music. Thank you so much. Like, and he was just like, oh yeah, cool. You know, like just very calm, happy to be there. Had a nice conversation with him, and then was like, hey, have a great time. Maybe I'll see you soon. Just like, so I really recommend listening to Let Live. Specifically, if you're going to listen to anything by them, I highly recommend either listening to the album If I'm the Devil ... or the album The Blackest Beautiful. Both of them are, in my opinion, like masterpieces. I like all their main albums. Even Fake History is like phenomenal, and like you can tell from the names of the albums and the song titles, like, oh yeah, no, these guys are very counterculture, post-hardcore, post-rock. Yeah,
I'm looking at some of their music right now. The 6.8 billion.
Yep, highly recommend listening to Let Live. They are absolutely phenomenal, and if you like heavy music at all, or music just like that can balance out like really serious groove with some screaming and singing, it's like some catchy hooks and stuff, like, yeah, go check them out. That's my jam this week. And then actually, quick follow-up jam, possibly a jam. I'm gonna put a possible future jam in here. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out tonight, so you can bet next week, good or bad, I will be talking about it on the podcast.
We don't have, unless you want to see Chris Pratt fights AI because he might have murdered his wife. in theaters, which I do. Okay, this is the part of my brain, Kevin, that goes, how bad is it?
Here's the thing. We both have passes to the cinema.
We should.
And our beloved Rebecca Ferguson is in this movie. And I don't care if it's bad. I feel like she will be good, you know? Like, so
we're seeing it.
There's I'm not, I'll give you 100% later. I'll commit later this week, but
I'm seeing it regardless.
Yeah, it looks like we should go see it. What's it called again?
Just Mercy.
Just Mercy.
I've tailored my release schedule. Instead of seeing as many movies as I can, I'm back to just, I'm going to take a break this year because next year is there's way more movies next year that I want to see. So I'm just going to try to see one movie a week, no matter what it is. So that way I'm still going every week, but I'm not going to go out of my way to see as many as I can. I just don't have time.
Well, and you know, like we've talked about this. There are some weeks where like there's going to be a week in the not too distant future where like Blue-Eyed Samurai and Shogun are running at the same time, and you're gonna be like, Kev, what do you want to see this week? I'm like, I'm lined up, man. I got 2 hours of stuff to watch already. Like, that's good. 2 hours to me, like, and the thing is, like, over time, I've not consumed as much. Like, I produce more than I consume now, you know, between general contracting, the podcast with you, playing music out live, being in different shows that I've been in, coming up with workout routines, meal prepping, the stuff. I produce more than I consume. And so a lot of times, especially when it comes to shows, my main consumption is only like when I'm meal prepping. And then after that, I have stuff to do, you know, like I've got commitments and stuff. So like, I'm trying to make sure that I commit to the things that are big this year, especially like just kind of like last year. And you know my position. When this is the way that things are for me, I'm a quality over quantity guy. I'd rather get the quality stuff in. It doesn't matter how much I see, so long as the majority of what I see is good and is adding value.
I did quantity last year. I think it's time
do
for
quality this year.
A quality, but still quantity, because I still want to go every weekend to get the most of my pass, which is why I'm like, we should see some of these movies that look bad, because like after Just Mercy is Send Help, the first Sam Raimi R-rated horror movie. So
great.
like we got some good ones this year. A lot of good TV this year. I mean, if New Vegas comes out, that's going to be if it comes down to seeing a movie that's 2 hours long or putting 2 hours into New Vegas, I'm putting 2 hours into New Vegas. Like,
probably.
That's like I've waited so long for New Vegas to be remastered. I haven't played that game in like a decade. Like,
Final question. Who do you side with, Mr. House or Caesar's Legion? Who do you side with? You got to pick a side. They have a big battle at the end.
Out of just those two,
or the NCR. Yeah, Mr. House, Caesar's Legion, or the NCR. Who do you pick to like control the wasteland?
Usually, I go NCR or Brotherhood, but I think for the remastered, I'm gonna do Mr. House.
You pick the Brotherhood, who are basically like future Nazis.
Well, no, like I've played that. You play that game multiple times. You pick a different one each time.
Yeah,
it's like Baldur's Gate. So
I'm not gonna lie. I picked a different one each time. Yeah.
NCR is the right choice, obviously. Like they're the most good.
They're the government.
Like, they're the most good though. But I think Mr. House, I've never sided with him.
Oh,
so
no?
I'm doing that first time. Remaster comes out, Mr. House all the way, baby.
NCR is the least evil choice. Well, they're the lesser of all evils.
So I'm watching Fallout with my partner, and obviously, like throughout episodes, I'm like pausing and being like, "See that? That's this thing right here. I'm gonna tell you about it real quick."
Oh, so yeah.
It's fun for them to, because like they're like, so Caesar's Legion. I'm like, look, the thing about Fallout you got to know is nobody is good.
Yeah.
It's who do you think is the least evil?
Yeah.
Like in Fallout 4, my playthrough right now, I'm siding with the Brotherhood. That's not a good choice.
No.
But I've never done it in Fallout 4. But like, it's no different than doing like the Dark Urge in Baldur's Gate 3, right? Like, there's evil playthroughs.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Brotherhood is actually the people I've sided with the most in Fallout 4, just because I like the giant robot.
Me too.
Yeah,
I love
100%.
the Zeppelins and stuff. And
100%.
It's my military brain and my 2 brain cells.
I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this, but we gotta crush the communists, guy.
It looks so wrong, but it feels so right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So NCR. Then here's the order I put them in: NCR, Brotherhood, Mr. House, Caesar's Legion. And that's specifically because Caesar's Legion is like, yeah, we got no problem skinning people alive. And I'm like,
they're
all
awful.
right, you're the worst. Like,
They're the
you're the
worst.
worst
They're nice.
option. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of the UnPop podcast. If you have a side that you would like to pick to control the wasteland, why don't you let us know by sending an email to mysecretpoweris@gmail.com. Art by FrankAce, music by moi. Make sure to check out our sister brother channel, Magnum Nopus, on YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a lovely week. We can't wait to see you next week and talk about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and possibly Just Mercy with Rebecca Ferguson. Bye.
Bye.